everybody. Welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, June 5th. Now on our show today, I found an extremely unique situation that Hogue is doing, and I really wanted to share it with all of you. So we are going to talk to Marcy Brown, who is in charge of operations for Hogue, and we talk about their brand new Flywell Clinic that is located in the John Wayne Airport. So we're going to tell you all about that. And then, of course, we talked to Dr. Hovanessian, who is here on behalf of Harvard Eye. Now, let's go ahead and tell you about ActiveNet, which is pretty much the only way you're going to be able to make reservations going forward. Now, of course, if you don't have access to ActiveNet via the internet, you could always contact Recreation. But basically, ActiveNet, the way you get to that, you would go to the LagunaWoodsVillage.com website. You would go to Amenities, then Recreation, and then you scroll to about the middle, and that is where you're going to click on ActiveNet, and that'll get you registered. Now, as I mentioned, if you do not have access to a computer, you could always contact Recreation at 949-597-4273. All right, let's take a look at our weather. It's looking pretty good this weekend. Not too hot, not too cold. We are still looking at, AM fog, but we are looking at sunshine all day today, 76, 61, partly sunny tomorrow, 72, 58, and then Monday, 73, 60. And if you are traveling this weekend anywhere in the state of California, we've got some numbers for you. Our beaches are looking pretty good here locally, 66, 59, nice day for a walk. Down at the beach, Santa Barbara 61, San Diego 70. The Tahoe area is nice at 75. Big Bear 78, and then Mammoth 74, and Palm Springs a very warm 100 with an overnight of 70. Just perfect. All right, our sunrise this morning was at 5:41, and the sunset will be at 7:59. Thank you to Ben Givens for sending in this photo. I appreciate it. For a while there, we were getting lots of great photos, and of course, you can always send me photos, and we'll put them in as we can, and you can send those to Laguna Woods Village TV@gmail.com. All right, stick around. When we come back, we're going to tell you all about the brand new Flywell Clinic by Hogue. Stay tuned.
With 2020 behind us, now is the perfect time to take care of all the things that you might not have been able to. Caliber Collision is just up the street from you, and we offer a lifetime warranty on all body and repair work for as long as you own your vehicle. And we offer free pickup and delivery for all our Laguna Woods customers. On or off the road, safety is very important to us, which is why we are following all COVID-19 guidelines. Caliber Collision, restoring the rhythm of your life.
All great healthcare organizations care, but the best dare to reach higher. At Hogue, we lead with life-saving clinical trials and advanced therapies. Our world-renowned specialists innovate with state-of-the-art technologies like virtual reality and robotics. Hogue is the #1 hospital in Orange County 4 years in a row. Now, more than ever, your healthcare choices matter. Choose Hogue.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Marcy Brown, who is here on behalf of Hogue. Well, Marcy, nice to see you again. How is it going?
Nice to see you, Lisa. It's going great. Thank you so much.
Good, good. Now, I mentioned to you off camera that the reason why we're having this conversation is because I was recently in the John Wayne Airport, and I saw that there is a clinic. Now, it's not just at the beginning, but you've got, I don't know, maybe you have multiple locations, but in the terminal that I was in, you had 2 locations with Hogue. And I thought, I needed to know more. So first of all, tell me why that you guys have a clinic in the airport.
Well, interestingly enough, it was about 2 years ago when the airport authority reached out to Hogue asking if we would be interested in launching an innovative health clinic with them at the airport. Looking across the nation, even worldwide, it's very trend setting. As a matter of fact, in Chicago at O'Hare, in San Francisco, in Portland, in Las Vegas, They had health clinics before or urgent cares, but nothing like we've co-created with John Wayne Airport. So the conversation started really 2 years ago and culminated in what you saw today.
Yeah, see, that's interesting because I actually thought it was kind of a culmination of what has happened here to us in the last year and a half, that maybe it had to do with the vaccines or being tested and things like that. But you're saying it happened even before.
That's right. That's right. We talked about concept back with John Wayne Airport almost 2 years ago. And when COVID hit, we had to hit the pause button, if you will, on those activities. As you can imagine, the airport basically came to a standstill. And all of our efforts, as you can imagine, began with fighting the COVID pandemic and helping to serve our community and navigate through that. So we hit the pause button, but the moment we saw the opportunity to get back at it and continue the planning efforts, we did just that.
So let's talk about what the concept was originally, and then we'll talk about how it changed for COVID.
Well, originally we thought about a place where travelers and actually airport employees, because pre-pandemic, the airport employs about 8,000 workers between the airplane employees, the flight attendants, the pilots, the staff that are working in the restaurants at the airport, and all the baggage handlers. So we were thinking about really creating a health and wellness clinic that would not only serve the workers, but also the passengers and the travelers. So basically an urgent care, if you will, that if they forgot their medications or were feeling a bit under the weather, or maybe a back strain, or just not feeling well, they could step off the plane and come into the clinic, and we would have a provider see them. Or if you were working at the airport and needed a quick visit to the clinic, it would be very convenient for employees working there to do just that.
What a great idea, especially the one that you mentioned about forgetting your medication, because many times that has happened. I'm sure
Right.
so many, and that's really great that you're able to help them with something like that. So how many facilities are there? I saw just the 2. Are they in other terminals as well?
No, we are actually strategically located in Terminal B. And the evolution of the clinic, once the pandemic, we were able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. We got back to the drawing board and connected with the airport and created a little bit of a different vision and a nuanced vision of what we could achieve with the clinic at the airport. So we began getting our heads around the launch. And when we originally launched the clinic, it was sort of a pop-up little health clinic, if you will, that talked about the services that we offer at Hogue. In addition to that, we began just educating the flying public about what it meant to fly well and fly safely, and getting back to feeling confident about traveling across the nation with some confidence that you weren't going to spread the virus or protect yourself and your loved ones from the virus when you were landing. So there are 2 locations at the airport, one, as the airport staff like to refer to, on the air side, and one on the land side. So the land side clinic is a rapid COVID testing clinic, which you do not need a boarding pass. It's pre-security, Terminal B, right there at the TSA checkpoint. And if you are needing a COVID-19 rapid test in order to fly, or you're just wanting that extra sense of confidence, we perform that test right there at the COVID rapid testing clinic.
Wow.
And then it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get your results from that test. And then on the air side, which I'm sure is what you saw, is the Flywell Clinic. And that is a full service urgent care. And in addition to that, so we do offer, for those travelers who forgot their medications, we offer that service. We offer, telehealth services. We offer virtual reality journeys for those travelers who are anxious about flying. You can put on the headset and choose your journey, and it's actually a stress reliever. We have aromatherapy in the clinic, a true full service Flywell clinic. And also what we started launching about 2 to 3 weeks ago now is COVID vaccines. So for those travelers who are wanting a vaccine, we do offer vaccination services at the airport.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, I love the fact that you help people who may have anxiety about flying. And of course, I was lucky enough to try out those
Oh,
goggles.
you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
I did. As a
great,
matter of
great.
fact, we had one of your doctors, your brain surgeon, visiting with us. Yes, and we tried out those goggles, and they are amazing.
Oh my word, that is fantastic.
Love it. So I love that thought that you can help people, because now one thing I do have a question on in terms of the prescriptions. How are you able to help people with their prescriptions? Because I would imagine you have to go to a pharmacy. So how do you handle that?
We do have on hand, in addition to the basic medications on hand, we do have the ability to refill prescriptions. If you have that prescription or in need of that refill, we do have the ability through our other locations to fill those prescriptions.
Okay, and so that would be something that you would be able to do like on an immediate basis?
For those basic medications, yes, indeed.
Okay, all right. So I would imagine that you may not have all of them, but you would have maybe some of the most popular.
That's exactly right, Lisa.
Okay, great. Now, where do you think this is going to go? I mean, is this something that you guys are looking at worldwide?
No, we're committed to just handling our local community and our local flying and traveling community. And but this is our pilot phase, so who knows where this will take us. There is interest from airports across the nation. They're reaching out, asking, how did you do this? What was the vision, and what was your vision, and how are you achieving what you thought you would achieve? And I have to tell you, I traveled over the holiday weekend myself. And I was thrilled to see that not only was there a gentleman receiving his COVID vaccine right there at the Flywell Clinic, pre-security, I have to mention, there was someone getting a rapid test as I was checking through myself. And then there was a flight attendant who had just gotten off of a flight and went right over to the Flywell Clinic and said, you know, I'm diabetic and I'm not feeling too well. Can I sit down with the provider and get checked out myself? And I thought, wow, what we thought was going to happen is indeed what's happening with the service for the community. So just thrilled to see that.
I love that. That's great. Now, one last thing before I let you go. In regards to insurance and services, does insurance cover the things that you provide?
Yes, they sure do. When it comes to the vaccine, of course, we're not charging for the vaccine. The rapid COVID testing, we do bill insurance, but we're also charging $139 cash for the rapid if the folks don't have insurance and they don't want to run it through their insurance. But the other services are billed just like any other urgent care services out in the community at our other 14 sites.
Just amazing. I am so glad that I saw it and so glad that I could connect with you, because I just, you guys are always quite innovative. And the one facility, of course, that comes to mind is the one out in Foothill, where it's really different. And I just love it. And so obviously you guys are definitely on the cutting edge.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. We like to continue to innovate and make sure that we serve the needs of the community. And so the Foothill Ranch project was indeed a very special project for us and very well received by the community. And we're just thrilled.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the information. It was nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well, Lisa. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
When I was first diagnosed, they gave me about 2 years to live.
After they took it out, they did some additional tests and it found out that yes, it was a cancerous tumor.
I had an aorta dissection and that triggered a stroke on top of it.
I've been in treatment a little over 2 years. They saved my life.
If I hadn't been pregnant, they would not have found that mess. If it hadn't been for Ben, I might not be here.
It was amazing that he has knowledge to do what he has to do to save me.
Introducing Raya's Paradise San Clemente. Boasting a total of 50 luxurious apartments, Raya's Paradise is complete with a multitude of amenities, including a rooftop lounge, restaurant, fitness studio, outdoor courtyards, and beauty salon. Embrace the San Clemente lifestyle with stunning ocean views and the look and feel of a high-end resort. Our doors will be opening soon. Visit us online or call for more information. Raya's Paradise, a tradition of quality care.
Welcome back. Well, today I have Dr. Hovanessian here with me from Harvard Eye. And nice to have you with us. Nice to see you again.
Lisa, it's always great seeing you.
And, it's great that we actually can say seeing each other, right? Because we have great vision. And, I go to the eye doctor probably once a year. I'm fortunate enough to have great vision. And the one thing I always wanted to know is, I always ask them, I say, why do you make me put that thing over my eye? Couldn't I just close my eye? How come they make me do that?
Well, it's to close the eye with an occluder or the palm of your hand instead of just squinting. The problem is when you wink like this is your other eye closes a little bit. And you'll notice if you do it, there can be a little change in your vision. The eyelid comes down a little bit when you wink one eye, and that can cause a little astigmatism. It can change the way you see. So
isn't that interesting? Well, I'm glad that you helped clarify that, because I never knew and I never asked. And so this kind of leads into what we're talking about is, when you have to look at that eye chart, there's that huge E. Would that be like the worst vision ever?
Unfortunately, there are conditions in people who can't even see the big E on the eye chart. We below that, we ask people to count fingers, and we do it at different distances. We determine if they can see motion of a hand moving, or we'll just determine if they can perceive light out of the eye if it's worse than that.
Oh, wow.
And so, really, you're essentially legally blind if you can only see the big E on the eye chart with an eye. But of course, with glasses, we try to correct that. We try to get everybody to 20/20.
So at what point on that chart is 20/20? And is that perfect vision?
Yeah, it's a great question. So 20/20 means that you are sort of like the average person. If the average male is 5'7.5", you're 5'7.5". You're not taller, you're not shorter, you're in that range. So many people can see better than 20/20. Some people don't see as well as 20/20, even with a perfect healthy eye. It's just the way we're built. But 20/20 is a standard that for corrected vision works for most of the population. But 20/20 vision is considered high contrast vision. High contrast means that when you look at that eye chart, it's a dark black letters on a bright white background. And even in the example of the eye chart in the picture here, there's some gray around it. And we notice, okay, well, wait a second. The world is really not, stark whites and blacks, but it's many shades of gray. And so if we really want to get an idea of what's happening with vision, we have to look at different shades of gray. So we have a picture of an eye chart that is in shades of gray. It's what we call a low contrast chart. And we can have, you notice as you get further down the chart, the letters don't get smaller, they just get fainter. And the more faint letters are indeed hard to read. And toward the bottom, I challenge anybody to see, probably on this chart you can, but on some of these low contrast charts, it's very hard to see them. And so that's designed to see, how well can your eye discriminate subtle shades of darkness.
So if somebody has better vision than 20/20, is that like a hereditary thing?
It probably is. It has to do with, just how perfect the eye is in focusing. There are things we call higher order aberrations that all of our eyes have. When we make a telescope like the Mir, telescope in space, we try to go beyond just focusing it. We try to eliminate all sources of imperfection in the picture. And so we eliminate those higher order aberrations. We also try to eliminate something called glare and scatter of light, which are pretty easy concepts for most of us to understand because we encounter them a lot in our daily life.
Okay. All right. And then I just wanted to clarify that. So then when you look at this chart and you're going from dark to light, what's causing the light to change or the fade?
It's simply the way that it's printed, of course, is what makes the chart become more faint. But The way it challenges our eye is that our eyes are really designed in multiple ways. We have some of the cells, our cones are more discriminate color, and they have fine detail. But our rods are more light sensitive, and that's why when you are trying to find a very faint star at night, you shouldn't look directly at it. You should look just to the side of it, because you bring in more rods that are more light sensitive. Mm-hmm. Similarly here, we probably are using more of our rods to detect edges. Edge detection is an important part of image formation, and complex edges that we see in our everyday life, our brain assembles into concepts like, what is a car versus what is a tree versus something else, because without thinking about it, we recognize those common objects. But we're also barraged by challenges to our vision. I mentioned glare, for example. And a perfect example there is if you're driving near dusk, and our sun is so bright here in Southern California, and you have a little bit of a dirty windshield, it's fine if the sun is behind you shining forward, because you see the world well lit and clear. But if you're driving toward that sun, the sunlight coming toward your car hits the windshield, and all those dust particles and other imperfections on the windshield cause the light to scatter in 100 directions. And so what your eye sees is everything, bathed in a bright light, and that is low contrast vision. It's why it's hard to see.
Mm-hmm. How do you correct something like that?
Well, clean your windshield.
Well, that's an easy answer.
Well, and so of course, what I'm getting at is it depends on what the cause is. And so you really have to go to the cause, because the world's best eyeglasses don't help you see through a dirty windshield. And the world's, best eyeglasses also don't help with conditions like cataract. The most common two conditions we see that cause scatter of light would be cataract and would be dryness of the eyes, or an imbalanced tear film. Because when you don't have a glassy, smooth layer on the surface of the eye, it's not going to see well. When you have a cloudy lens inside the eye, that's cataract, the light rays coming in are treated just like the windshield that's dirty, and it causes them to scatter. And so people who have fairly advanced cataract can do fine under a lot of conditions, but when there's bright light shining toward them, they're disabled. It's hard to drive, it's hard to read, it's hard to do anything detail oriented.
And glasses can't help that, right?
A little bit. They will sometimes reduce a little bit the glare we experience, but generally it's a very limited benefit, because they're not correcting the problem at its source.
Okay. All right. Well, excellent. Well, that's good information for sure. And, of course, when they come to visit you, you check for all of these things.
Yeah. Part of a good eye exam is to first ask questions about these things. We're big on understanding what's on our patient's mind and what they experience in the real world. Second is doing an exam. And sometimes we do a glare test where we put you looking toward an eye chart and shine a light toward you. And this is in a machine that we use, and it measures how much loss, how much below 20/20 you end up when there's glare. And that's a very useful indicator of problems like cataract.
Oh, I love it.
A good exam takes that all into account.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for the information. I appreciate it.
Interesting stuff, isn't it?
All right, thanks, and we'll see you again soon. We'll be right back after this.
At Harvard Eye, we are so happy to be open again and to see all of you for your medical and surgical eye care. We're taking great care to protect everyone from COVID-19 by seeing fewer patients, spacing out chairs in our lobby, sanitizing our office constantly, and doing much more. The world is changing a lot, but what hasn't changed is we're honored by your trust and confidence, and we're committed to keeping you safe. We can't wait to see you.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
At our new Memorial Wave Imaging Center in Laguna Woods, formerly Orange County Diagnostics, you can expect the same precise imaging, multiple modalities for your imaging needs, and the same friendly staff with medical providers like Dr. Syed Sharakni. The Laguna Woods Transportation Service offers convenient access right to our door, and we continue to provide the care and compassion that you expect from our new Wave Laguna Woods location.
Our movie for today is called Minari, and it is about a Korean-American family that moves to an Arkansas farm, and they are in search, of course, of their own American dream. And you can watch that today at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles, and that's brought to you by Hogue. All right, just a reminder that today is the Bazaar. It is going on right after this show. It's on at 10, it starts at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Of course, it's in the Clubhouse 5 parking lot. Tons of things to buy, handcrafted items, home goods, jewelry, and so much more. So make sure you check that out today and find hopefully some great items for your house. Now, just a reminder about the car washing. If you live in certain areas, some car washing is not allowed and others have restrictions. So Third Mutual, there is no car washing allowed, so you would have to bring that to a car wash place or wash it somewhere else. In United, they do allow it, but you must have a particular type of hose with the shutoff valve and the sprayers. So you want to be extra careful about using those things for when you wash your car. And other than that, we are looking at a July 4th parade, a golf cart parade, yay. So if you would like to participate, you can get that information and make sure you register at ActiveNet, the online reservation system, and all the entries will close on July 1st. So make sure you get on that as soon as possible. All right, let's take a look at our weather one last time. Looking pretty good for the weekend, not too warm, quite delightful actually. We're looking at temperatures anywhere from 76, 61, 72, 58, and 73, 60. And then, of course, if you are traveling here in California, you can take a look at these numbers. Looking pretty good. 66 beaches, Santa Barbara 61, San Diego 70. The Tahoe area is 75, Big Bear 78, Mammoth 74, and Palm Springs 100. So nice and warm out there. All right, we will see you again on Monday. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. And coming right up is Knowledgeable Aging, so stick around for that. Have a great day in the village. Bye-bye.
Thank you.